Hello, everyone. Lincoln had a special request for Amelia Bedelia, so that's the story Grandma Sue is going to read today. But first, I'd like to say hello, Lincoln. Hello, Claire. Hello, Margot. And hello to all the Schuler children, in case you get an opportunity to listen to the story as well. That would be William, Walter, Adelaide, and Weston. So, hello children, and as always, feel free to share my stories with anyone else. I bet you can tell where I'm at today, can't you? Do you see the dock and the kayaks in the background? Yes, it's a sunny day at the lake, and that's where I'm at. I'm hoping the sun isn't going to interfere with the reading of the story. Otherwise, I'll just find another place to read. So let's begin. Amelia Bedelia by Peggy Parrish. It's always important to know who wrote a book as well. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day of work, and I cannot be here, but I made a list for you. You do just what the list says, said Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers got in the car with Mr. Rogers. They drove away. What nice folks. I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. There she is, with her umbrella and her coat and her hat. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. They must be rich folks. But I must get to work. Here I stand just looking, and me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make a lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies, and she does. So Amelia Bedelia went to the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl. She mixed and she rolled. Soon her pie was ready to go into the oven. There, said Amelia Bedelia, that's done. Now, let's see what the list says. Change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. These towels are very nice. Why change them, she thought. Then Amelia Bedelia remembered what Mrs. Rogers had said. She must do what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia, boy, it's hard to say that name sometimes. All right, one more time. Amelia Bedelia got some scissors. She snipped a little here and snipped a little there, and she changed those towels. Now, do you think that's what Mrs. Rogers wanted her to do? Oh my goodness, Amelia Bedelia has some funny ideas. There, said Amelia Bedelia. She looked at her list again. Dust the furniture. Now, did you ever hear of such a silly thing? At my house, we undust the furniture, but each to his own way. Amelia Bedelia took one last look at the bathroom. She saw a big box with the word dusting powder on it. Well, look at that, a special powder to dust with, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So Amelia Bedelia dusted the furniture. That should be dusty enough. My, how nice it smells. Is that the way your mommy and daddy dust the furniture? I don't think Grandma Betty would have liked that. Draw the drapes when the sun comes in, read Amelia Bedelia. She looked up. The sun was coming in. Amelia Bedelia looked at the list again. Draw the drapes? That's what it says. I'm not much a hand at drawing, but I'll try. So Amelia Bedelia sat right down, and she drew those drapes. I wonder what they meant. Amelia Bedelia marked off about the drapes. Now what? Put the lights out when you finish in the living room. Amelia Bedelia thought about this a minute. She switched off the lights. Then she carefully unscrewed each light bulb, and Amelia Bedelia put the lights out. So these things need to be aired out too, just like pillows and babies. Oh, I do have a lot to learn. My pie, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. She hurried to the kitchen. She took the pie out of the oven to put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. Measure 2 cups of rice. That's next, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia found 2 cups. She filled them each with rice, and Amelia Bedelia measured that rice. Amelia Bedelia laughed. These folks do want me to do funny things. Then she poured the rice back into the container. The meat market will deliver a steak and a chicken. Please trim the fat before you put the steak in the icebox, and please dress the chicken. When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedelia opened the bag. She looked at the steak for a long time. Yes, she said, this will do nicely. Amelia Bedelia got some bits of lace and ribbon, and Amelia Bedelia trimmed that fat before she put the steak in the icebox. Now I must dress the kitchen. I wonder if it's a he chicken or a she chicken, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went right to work, and soon she was finished. Then, whoops, I think I skipped a page. Let's see. Amelia Bedelia heard the door open. The folks are back, she said. She rushed out to meet them. Amelia Bedelia, why are all the light bulbs outside? Asked Mr. Rogers. Well, the list said to put the lights out, said Amelia Bedelia. It didn't say to bring them back in. Oh, I do hope they didn't get aired too long. Amelia Bedelia, the sun will fade the furniture. I asked you to draw the drapes, said Mrs. Rogers. And I did. See, said Amelia Bedelia. She held up her picture. Is she a silly lady or what? Then Mrs. Rogers saw the furniture. The furniture, she cried. Did I dust it well enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. That's such nice dusting powder. Mr. Rogers went to wash his hands. I say, these are very unusual towels. Mrs. Rogers dashed into the bathroom. Oh, my best towels. Didn't I change them enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers went to the kitchen. I'll cook the dinner. Where is the rice I asked you to measure? I put it back in the container, but I remember I measured it as 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedelia. Was the meat delivered? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. I trimmed the fat just like you said. It does look nice. Oh, look at all the little rivets she put around it. Mrs. Rogers rushed to the icebox. She opened it. Lace, ribbons, oh dear, said Mrs. Rogers. The chicken. You dressed the chicken? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes, and I found the nicest box to put him in, said Amelia Bedelia. Box? Said Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers hurried over to the box. She lifted the lid. There lay the chicken, and he was dressed just as nice as he could be. Mrs. Rogers was very angry. She opened her mouth. Mrs. Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedelia she was fired, but before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put something in her mouth. It was so good, Mrs. Rogers forgot about being angry. And what do you think she was tasting? Think hard. Remember what Amelia Bedelia did at the beginning of the story? Lemon meringue pie, she exclaimed. I made it to surprise you, said Amelia Bedelia happily. So right then and there, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers decided that Amelia Bedelia must stay. And she did. Mrs. Rogers learned how to say undust the furniture, unlight the lights, close the drapes, and things like that. Mr. Rogers didn't care if Amelia Bedelia trimmed all of his steaks with lace. All he cared about was having her there to make lemon meringue pie. And that is the end of the first book of Amelia Bedelia, and I will be sure to read some more soon. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope that you can follow along with the book of your own. I will be back soon for another edition of Grandma Sue's Story Time. Love you all best. Mwah. Bye-bye.